big gulp, sorry. Welcome back to GradGirlRambles. Today I want to talk about finding balance during internship. Internship can be a lot, but I found internship to be very freeing and relaxing. And I want to talk about why, because I don't think everyone feels like that. So the thing with internship, when you're in a psychology doctoral program, whether it's PhD, PsyD, you go from this kind of like workhorse mentality where you're going to classes, you're doing practicum, you're doing your advisor's research sometimes, you're doing your own research sometimes. And when you go to internship, there's a shift. For me, the shift was my doctoral program basically spread out all of our classes so that we were taking classes every semester from the time we started to the time we went off to internship. And the reason that it's so jam-packed is, one, because it is APA accredited, so there are a lot of requirements there from APA, and it's also a NASP approved program as well. So there's also the school psychology component. So we were taking a lot of classes all the time. I took classes for 4 years straight, where I was sometimes taking classes in the summer, so it was literally almost every semester. And I was so exhausted all the time. I took anywhere from 3 to 4 classes. I'm trying to think if there was ever a semester where I just took 2. There may have been one semester when I only took 2 classes. And while doing that, I was also doing practicum. My program starts practicum in the first year, and whether it is a day to 2 full days, like, it's still a lot. You're doing, so let's break it down. If you're doing 4 classes a semester, that's 4 classes that met for 3 hours each. That's already 12 hours of your time. Then there's the amount of time you spend doing assignments, homeworks, readings, things like that. I'm not even going to estimate what that is, so let's just say 12 hours. In my 4th year, I was doing advanced practicum, which was 2 full days, 16. So that's 31 hours. And then I was also doing a half-time assistantship with my advisor on his research, which was 20 hours. So what did I say? Oh, my math got mixed up. So 12 hours plus 16 hours is 28. Thank you. Plus, what did I say? 20 hours, which is 48. That's already over a 40-hour work week, plus all the time that I spent on assignments for class, which I already didn't factor in, all the time working on my own research, like my dissertation, or if I was collaborating with anyone else. And so you really go from this like really 60, 70-hour work week, which is crazy. And when I say work week, Monday to Friday is just like not a thing. I tried really hard to keep it from Monday to Friday, and some semesters I was really good at it. I did not touch my work over the weekend, but during certain seasons like proposal, dissertation proposal writing, when I was applying to internship, like that time was out the door. I had to spend so much time on the weekends because I was already doing so much. And then, you go off to internship and you no longer have classes. You no longer have your advisor's research, as you shouldn't, I guess. I didn't. And the only thing left is internship, which takes the place of the practicum, and dissertation. For the most part, those are your 2 priorities. So for me, that was 40 hours a week of internship, plus however much time I was spending on my dissertation. For some people, they defend their dissertation before internship, and honestly, if you can do that, do it, because that, I think, takes away a lot of the stress of like finishing a work day on internship and then going home to work on something else. But that's not where I was. By the time I started internship, I was in the middle of data collection, and then by October of internship, I was done writing. I was sending my draft off to my committee, and then because of scheduling, like, we didn't actually schedule anything until January. So really, I was working on my dissertation for the first 4 months of internship. The thing that I really appreciate about internship, and maybe this is me because I worked before grad school, I don't enjoy 9 to 5s. I don't want to be like, I don't enjoy 9 to 5, but I prefer that kind of schedule over the like free flowing, flexible academic one, because I know where I'm supposed to be. Here it's 8 to 5. I know where I'm supposed to be from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I'm at work. And then after 5 p.m., I'm not expected to do more. I go home. For the first 4 months, I was working on my dissertation. I was trying to crunch that baby out so I could stop and just do internship and be a person. And I was really intentional about doing my work. So with one of my friends from my program, we're both on internship. We would work Tuesday and Thursday evenings after internship for like a couple hours on our dissertations, or if we had extra stuff from internship, like we would do that stuff. And I think having those 2 times like really structured in helped. But aside from that, there were just so many things that I wasn't doing that I was able to find more balance. And so balance for me just looks like not always being in like work mode. I don't enjoy work in the sense that I'm like a workaholic. I'll do what I need to do and I'm gonna move on. Like I'm an overachiever in that the work that I do is gonna be really great, but I'm not gonna do it longer than I need to. I'm very efficient and I really value my personal time. And something that I did while, and I am doing while on internship, is creating space for me to literally do nothing. I spend so much time doing nothing, and at first I felt bad about it because I was so used to always doing things that I would get home around 5:15, 5:20, and then I kind of just sit there. Because I was also my last 2 years of practicum in my program, I also lived an hour away from my practicum. So I was also used to spending an hour just getting home, and sometimes I wouldn't get home till 7 p.m. And so then it was worse. But now I live 10, 15 minutes away from work. It's great. I get home and I can literally just sit on my couch and stare at the wall if I want to and not feel bad about it. Not one piece of guilt. I will stare at a wall. I will scroll on TikTok. I will play on my Nintendo Switch. I'll play Sims. I haven't done it as much, but I want to, and I have the time to do it. But I'm also just really enjoying not doing anything. And so I think I hear a lot of people who finish their doctoral programs who are like, I didn't know how to be a person. And I feel like because I was able to kind of get my dissertation out of the way earlier in the internship year, I'm kind of like finding the things that I enjoy again. And so it's helping me stay balanced. I'm able to go to a happy hour during the week if I want to. I don't do it that often, but I can. I'm able to go to brunch on the weekend, or, go to a park, or, go see a movie and not feel like, oh, I have all this work I need to do. It's so important for us to remember that we are people and we're not just these little worker bees. Like, being a psychologist is going to be one part of my identity, but Briana is I'm still a person, and I like being able to like remind myself of the things that I actually enjoy. The one thing I will say I'm struggling with is getting back into reading. I love to read, and it's not a benefit because COVID is a beast, but at the beginning of the pandemic, when everything was kind of shut down and nobody knew what was going on and couldn't go anywhere, I was reading. I read so much at the beginning of the pandemic because I was just like, what else am I supposed to do? I can't go anywhere. I've watched all the stuff. No one's filming because no one's going outside. And I read so much. But I was in my second semester of my program, and so I didn't feel so beat down yet. Now, I want to be reading more. I want to be intentional. Oh, why do I keep saying intentionable? I want to be intentional about reading for fun, and I can't bring myself to do it. And I think it's because I've spent so much time reading for class, for work, for research. It's almost like I look at books, I'm like, I can't read that. I don't know what that says. I can't fathom reading words on a page unless it is a book that I am dying to read. There's been one book that I read very quickly because I read it as soon as I pre-ordered it, and as soon as it came, I read it because I knew that once I read it, I would talk to my friends about it. But now I'm like, these other books are just here. And I've had them for years. There are so many books on this shelf that I bought and haven't read, or ones, there are books on there that I really want to read again, but I look at that page and it's almost like it gets blurry. And so that's the one thing that I'm slowly getting back into. But it's really important to find balance on internship, even if you are still working on your dissertation and you're, still trying to get that out. Grad school can be a time where you just forget your personhood and you just have this identity as a graduate student, and that's not healthy. It happens to a lot of people. I won't say a lot of people, some people are really good at finding balance while in grad school. And I applaud that. I don't know how they did it. Ask them, not me. But internship for me has been the time, because this is more of what my life will look like after I graduate. I will have, for the most part, a set time that I'm at work, and then I don't have things to do after. Like, I don't, depending on the culture of where you're going, like, you may have to do some work at home, you may not, but you know what's expected of you, and you're not expected to work these 60, 70, 80-hour work weeks. Like, that's not the game anymore. And so I think taking the time in internship to really think about how you can show up for yourself and remind yourself that you are a person is really important. I think my mental health has improved significantly on internship, just because I don't feel like I'm always in work mode and I'm not always grinding. And it's been really nice. So I highly recommend finding balance and doing what you can to kind of keep that up and prioritize it. So that's all I wanted to share. But I wonder what everyone else does. Like, what do other people do to find balance? I don't know. It's been really nice, and I want to do more things. I'm only recording this in March. I still have months of internship left, so I'm excited to do more things, especially as it gets more consistently warm outside. So that is all for today. I'll catch y'all later. Bye.